Hey, you!
Whoa.
Do you enjoy basking in the sun at temperatures hot enough to melt aluminum?
What the hell
Do
are
you love the sensation of your skin melting off of your bones?
Uh-huh.
Wait, you do? Alright. Well, allow me to introduce you to Ernus, aka Kerbal Hell. All the evil Kerbals get sent here by the Kraken in the afterlife. Oh yeah, and it's part of a planet pack, that's right. A planet pack called New Horizons, which adds a whole bunch of new bodies to the stock Kerbal system, while keeping the stock ones and moving them around. Just give me a second. There we go. That's better. Anyways, it's also one of my favorite planet packs that I actually used to play a whole lot back when I was a freshman in high school. I mean, it's got a whole lot of cool destinations, including Saran Wrap, Sauna, Lee Ouch, Dog Turd 1, Dog Turd 2, Bowling Ball, Mo from Wally, and Super Tylo Easy Mode. Anyways, back to Ernus. As far as I'm aware, Ernus has only been visited and returned from once before, in this video from 2015. And for good reason, I mean, just look at the place. Stupidly close to the sun, check. High gravity and no atmosphere, check. Hazardous terrain, check. Teaming with the spirits of damn Kerbals, check. Delta V requirements, yes. Except, this mod isn't actually compatible with the current version of KSP. Actually, it is, but everything breaks. Looks like we'll need to travel back in time to KSP version 1.2. It actually works on 1.3, but 1.3 has this memory leak problem that annoyed the living shit out of 14-year-old me. Alright, enough rambling, let's get to building already, shall we? Everyone, welcome the Icarus, called that because, well, I'm flying way too close to the sun. What did you expect? It'll be our main mothership and transfer vehicle, weighing in over 400 tons, and is powered by, measly 2 nuclear engines. Yeah, in order to maximize Delta V, I've had to sacrifice quite a lot of thrust-to-weight ratio, which means that burns are going to take geologic timescales to play out.
Hey sir, the burn is finished.
Oh cool, I was too busy watching Pangea Reform to notice.
You may notice that it also still has DLC parts, and that's because, to my surprise, the DLCs actually still work with versions from before they came out. Somewhat.
What is this?
Of course, though, we also need a lander, and for this I have created the Sisyphus, which is going to be hard to land in Ernus's 1.65 Gs. And accompanying the Sisyphus lander will be the Cerberus rover, which I hope to use to, like, climb a mountain or something. I don't know. I don't have the highest expectations, though, when Ernus is full of terrain that looks like this. Anyways, now that that's all sorted, let's load up Bill, Bob, Tatiana, and Jebediah Kermit. Wait. Who's this?
Hey, Hef, it's me Valentina. Can I be in one of your videos for once?
Well, you could. I mean, Jeb, what do you think about this? And he's already letting her go.
Jeb, stop simping or you're fired!
Anyways, you're in. Yippee! Let us launch the Icarus! Alright, now that that's done, let's send up the lander. And right away, you may notice that I'm launching at a 45-degree angle relative to the equator, and that's for one simple reason. In this mod, the whole solar system is tilted about 10 degrees, which, in my reconnaissance missions, proved to be highly problematic if you were in an equatorial orbit of Kerbin. Back when I played this mod for the first time, this used to really annoy me, and I remember going into the Copernicus files and changing all the orbits to quote-unquote fix it. Well, that's not what I'm doing this time, as I actually know what I'm doing. After the docking sequence was complete, I then began the interplanetary transfer, which will take multiple burns, just because of how low our thrust-to-weight ratio is, after ditching the launcher's upper stage. Burn time, 2 hours. In fact, this burn time was so bad that I couldn't even do it all in Kerbin orbit. Instead, I had to do another orbit of Sona and then burn at the next periapsis to be able to use the Oberth effect properly. This is awesome, isn't it? I'm having so much fun watching this burn right now.
Exploring the name that had been lost for a very different reason. The story begins with his great-grandfather, John Robbins. One other part of his mother, a woman named Son.
And while we wait eons for this burn to finish, let's also talk about the fact that I'm not going straight to Ernus in one shot, unlike this madman, but instead I'm going to use Mo, the next planet out, for a few gravity assists. Once we're going slow enough, we'll capture around Mo, and land on its highly familiar moon of Moho.
Hey, I've seen this one.
For refueling. Now, of course, you may be thinking, Hef, how in the hell are you gonna land the Icarus on Moho? Well, I'm not, because that would be stupid. Instead, I brought a small mining craft, the Moho Mole, which we will use to very slowly refuel the Icarus over many landings. Place your bets on how many landings it's going to take in the comments. My guess was 18 before I actually did it. And once it's fully refueled, we'll fire up the Icarus again for the transfer down to Ernus. And perfect timing, the burn has been completed. Let's get down to Mo already. And as we now attempt to capture around Mo, I should also mention something that I've thought of doing to save Delta V. You see, there's this weird thing about gas giants in this planet packs that makes their atmospheres barely generate any re-entry heat. And a few days ago, I made a poll on my channel asking my viewers if they thought exploiting this for aerobraking was cheating or not. To my surprise, the majority said no, but as it turns out, I didn't actually need to do this to reach Moho in the first place, even with this absolutely atrocious orbit I'm in right now. Another 2,000 meters per second later, and we've made it to Moho. Time to commence Operation Sloth Fuel. I don't know. Well, that only took 7 hours. And a total of... You ready? 17 landings. So if you guess correctly, you win, I didn't actually prepare for this. A free copy of World of Tanks, today's sponsor. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, it's already free.
Yes, that's the point, Melvin! After all of the landings had been done, though, Bob decided that he wanted to land on Moho too, as all of the landings had been done by Bill and Valentina. Bill agreed to this and decided to take him somewhere special. Yeah, the Moho. After landing next to it and admiring it for all it was, Bill then took some preventative measures as he heard rumors from a parallel universe about Bob taking over the world or something.
Long live the king.
After performing this act of
Ladies
preemptive
and
world
gentlemen.
salvation,
We got him.
Bill then made his way back to the Icarus, which left Moho's sphere of influence in preparation to make the transfer to Ernus. And sadly, we left the Moho Mole behind. Godspeed, Moho Mole. We salute you like Dragon and Dragonson. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. But first, we had to do about 10 ejection burn passes to get to the edge of Mo's sphere of influence. And then, away we go! I'm not scared. No way. Eventually, though, we had nearly reached Ernus and began the 1.5 hour insertion burn, which I'm starting way earlier than 45 minutes before reaching the maneuver node because of how pitifully low my thrust-to-weight ratio is. Let's see if I was actually early enough. Upon entering Ernus' sphere of influence, I ran a crew report and literally burst out laughing at this science report. And what do you know, I still started the burn too late and am now flying away from Ernus at Mach 10. This is real bad too, as I need Ernus' gravity to make use of the Oberth effect to slow down more efficiently. Luckily though, I had packed somewhat of an excess of Delta V, and was still able to make orbit, and reach a perfect low orbit with literally zero fuel remaining. I planned this 100%. Subscribe to Hefmark 2, where I plan everything out exactly 2 seconds before I do it. Now that we're actually here, let's land, shall we? Actually, unfortunately, due to the fact that Kerbals will literally become overcooked steak the second they exit the command module on the day side, I have to land on the night side. In the dark, with giant mountains everywhere. It beats Melton, alright? And touchdown confirmed! Ignore that explosion, okay? Somehow I managed to land on my first attempt in 1.65 Gs over twice Tylo's gravity, and find the only flat location on the entire night side of Ernus simultaneously, with 4 meters per second of delta V remaining. I don't know, I'm just cracked at KSP now after the Super Tylo debacle, huh? After landing and performing some magical crew transfers, Bill, Valentina, and Tatiana Kerman walked out onto the surface and planted a flag in the dark landscape of the night side, a place that has never known the light or warmth of Kerbal. Actually, it does know the warmth, as for some reason, the temperature here is still something like 600 Kelvin, despite the custom science reports I may have added just for Ernest's night side. Oh well, let's get the rover out, shall we? Once the Cerberus was out, I began driving it towards a nearby mountain, which I tentatively called Mount Erebus because, well, it's pretty dark, okay? Driving on Ernest is pretty challenging due to the high gravity making it difficult to get much speed uphill, resulting in me having to make switchbacks in order to get up terrain that was too steep for me to just go directly up. I also may or may not have just gone straight into a wall at 30 meters per second once. And gotten scammed by the game, just deciding to randomly invert my control point once. Regardless of this, we did eventually reach the summit, and had what would have been a really good view if, you know, it weren't so dark. Wait, I just realized, shouldn't I hate Ernus more than Drez because of the roving difficulty? Well, actually, Ernus is badass and actually worthy of my respect, because it bakes in the full force of Kerbal's light 24/7 while Drez just or doesn't, my bad. After a bit, I then decided to make my way back downhill, which on Ernest was also difficult, as the gravity accelerates you very quickly, meaning that my finger was constantly on and off of the brake key. One thing I didn't have to worry about though was braking wheels, as in this version they seem to be way more resilient to damage than in modern KSP. Not that them braking would have mattered anyways, as Bill could literally just fix them an infinite number of times. I kinda love old KSP now. Once back at the Sisyphus, the crew boarded the lander once more and prepared for liftoff. Now that we were back in orbit, it was time to make our rendezvous, and we're out of electricity.
Oh no!
I don't know, I'm just cracked at KSP now after the Super Tylo debacle, huh? Well, this ain't good. Without electricity, we can't use the radiators to cool ourselves down, and the crew modules are heating up fast.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Luckily, I was able to solve this by shutting down one engine and firing the other to control our attitude. But it was pretty nerve-wracking to say the least. And speaking of nerve-wracking, since we had no electricity, we also had to rendezvous by EVA, which was anxiety-inducing. Now that the crew has suffered multiple third-degree burns, let's start making our way home. In order to get back to Kerbin, I pretty much just did the inverse of what I did to get to Ernus, minus the Moho refueling bit. And after one final correction burn, we were on our way home, and about to re-enter at 4.5 kilometers per second with no ablator because it all burned away when we were close to the sun. Whatever, it's fine. What'll a few more third-degree burns do, am I right? There we have it, folks, a mission to Ernus and back, something that I've wanted to do for ages, but never actually got around to until now. I also achieved a few firsts on this mission, at least to my knowledge. I'm the first person to ever do this without ion engines, the first to land multiple Kerbals, and the first to bring a rover. In terms of pure difficulty though, I'd say this mission only ranks as probably the 4th most difficult I've ever done, behind the failed Whirligig World Grand Tour, the 30 times Moon mission, and of course, Super Tylo. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you next time, dweebs!